help other families. Let me introduce the guy with the vision, Mr. Paul McKee.
Thank you, and thank you, DJ, and to Midge, my wife and family, and all of our good friends that are here. This thing is more than a beginning of the first building inside of the NorthSide regeneration. It's about jobs, and it's about starting anew and new hope. And it's even more interesting that it couldn't be a worse day for all of you people that are sitting here. I think I know 99% of you sitting here, and you came out. John Cross came out when people were raising hell at him and me, and he still came out. DJ supported us when nobody else wanted to support us. Bill and Steve Stone and all of our friends in the community that have said, this is the right thing to do. We're going to do it. And from the mayor, how many years ago has it been, Mayor? Long time ago, when he said, I'll be there if you're there. The one guy that I'm looking around the audience that I don't see is the banker that believed in us. We wouldn't be here without that banker believing in us too. But the part that I want to really point out is having the mayor here, the director of revenue, and the school board. What this is about is we'll start putting money into the schools immediately as we grow this community. That is really, 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 really important. And as you heard DJ talk about, it's about the kids and making a difference and giving them hope for something different. The only way I know how to do that is to bring jobs. And as we've said to the community, we promise to bring you jobs here. And it's not easy. This is a symbol to our city and the great support that we've had from the labor unions that have been wonderful to us. And some people didn't believe that labor would be open to the jobs on the north side, but I think we've proven to a few people in this room that labor will welcome jobs on the north side. All of the people that have reached out have just been incredible. So there's no way that this is about one individual, one person, or one dream. There's so many people that have ridden with us. Now what I'd like to talk about is the rendering and the building that you see behind us. A lot of people thought we were going to abandon places like this. That's why it's so symbolic to begin here. This is an old Clemens mansion where Samuel Clemens' uncle actually resided. We've had quite a few. The Sisters of Mercy had their novitiate here many, many years ago. And only with the partnership with Bob Wood and Dan Hollick have we been able to think through something different here. So what you're seeing is we want to convert this historic building and save it into 50 new senior apartments, and we hope a partnership with the Museum of History and also with the Botanical Gardens on this beautiful site here. We're about doing that, right? And that's we've said all along we can't do this by ourselves, and Bob and his team have stepped up. They've got a history on the north side. They've done it before here. So we're really, really pleased to be a part of Bob's team as he's a part of ours. So thank you, Bob, and Dan as well. We couldn't leave this evening or this afternoon without saying to you all, this is the beginning. This is not the end. This is the beginning. And for so many of you that Midge and I have been in your communities and have been at various meetings, we'll be back. Please invite us back. We'll continue to have this dialogue. This dialogue's not going to end as long as we're around and our people are around. So we want to always keep you informed of what our next steps are. And we promise that openness to you. That's been a part of what we've done all along. And we will be there with you again. One more time, Mayor, I have to thank you for standing with us. Appreciate it. The older women and the older men of the community, thank you, thank you, thank you.
I need to recognize a guy who's not here. He's a very good friend of mine. He's also my new co-host on the radio, High 104.1 on Sunday mornings, and that's Rodney Hubbard. Rodney Hubbard gave me some direction in terms of what I need to do and how I need to be involved. So my good friend is not here, he's in D.C., but he is like my family. If Rodney wouldn't have told me to get involved and support this initiative, I wouldn't have gotten involved because I trust him more than I trust 99% of the people outside of my wife. So Rodney is my man. The next person I want to introduce, you're talking about just having some courage, having the ability to see a vision that wasn't your vision, but also understand what's best for our community. I mean, he took a lot of pressure on it. He took a lot of criticism about it. But I got to give him credit, man. He stood there right toe-to-toe, right in the middle of the ring and took some blows. But he saw and understood the vision. It's not about him. It's about the entire community of St. Louis City. And this guy right here, I really respect him. I think he's done an outstanding job throughout our community. And I'm a big fan of him. And I just want to say, Mayor Slay, you have a lot of courage, my friend. And I appreciate what you stand for, and I appreciate the vision that you jumped on board of this, because you know what's best for this entire community. Now let me introduce our mayor, Mayor Francis Slay.
Well, thank you, DJ, and good afternoon, everyone. It's a real pleasure to join with all of you, the elected officials, appointed officials that are here, people who live in the neighborhood, and others who had a role in the past and will play a role in the future in helping make this development be a success. But before I say anything else, I want to thank Paul McKee and his entire team, and Midge as well, for his vision and for his all of his efforts to help us create jobs and opportunity and make St. Louis better. So I just want to thank you, Paul, for that. And you know, I'm standing at a place now that was here, probably occupied, I'm sure, back then when my mother was growing up just around the block here on 19th Street in the 30s and the 40s. And I brought my mom by here a number of times to show her what her old neighborhood looks like now, and she's very excited about the opportunity. I will tell you that as well. But I'm here to sign two board bills passed by the Board of Aldermen, Board Bills 218 and 219, part of the legislation required for McEagle and Paul McKee to begin a very big project. This is a first step, but an important step to make this development become a reality. And we all know that anything that's big is and worth doing can also be very, very difficult. McKee's plan is only possible because of the accomplishments of dozens of other developers and hundreds of homeowners who have been working on other projects for the last 10 years, some of whom are here today. And it will only be finally possible if dozens of other developers, investors, and many other partners join with Paul in helping with this project. We are standing right now in front of the Clemens House, which is part of Paul's larger vision, but represents one of the plan's first development efforts. The Clemens House will undergo a $13 million rehab with the intent of bringing this 140-year-old mansion back to its original glory. The plan is for it to eventually, and ironically, be converted into a museum and seniors' apartments. Now, I'm not sure, but I would assume a young person came up with that idea. But this is more than simply renovating one building. It's a chance to bring, as I said, jobs and opportunity to a disinvested area in St. Louis. It's a chance to celebrate this neighborhood and to revive it. I hope that the people who work on this building will be able to walk or ride their bikes to their work site. I hope Paul's NorthSide project will employ many of the people who really know what it takes to make this neighborhood great, the people who live in it. I hope it draws interest from people who live in other places in our metropolitan area, and that they decide one day to live, work, or play here in North St. Louis. Most of all, I hope that the people who live here now continue to be proud of their neighborhood and work for its betterment. I want to thank you again for being part of this. There's a lot of work to do in the future, but as I said, it's worth doing, and we're going to need all your help. So thanks again. And I'm going to